show you.
Okay. Show me.
It's showtime.
Okay, so we are back, and to start this week off, you'll notice last week we had a episode air on Wednesday, then on Friday for Cora's birthday, and this one's going up Monday. I don't know if we'll have an episode Wednesday or not. We might have an extra episode Wednesday, but we'll definitely have one Friday, and then of course we'll have one on Halloween. So today we are going to be watching the second chapter in Poltergeist.
Oh, why?
Do you remember, Cora, what happened last time in Poltergeist?
I think I do know two plots.
What?
The dogs all got taken away, and when they got the dogs are back, and when they've seen, and when the whole family was outside and not inside the house, the whole house got affected like this.
So the house got sucked into a vortex.
Yep.
So, and then the family, they were moving or something, and they don't like TVs no more, right?
Yeah, and like they did this. Okay, no TVs. Yeet.
So, are you excited to be coming back to this? I mean, like I said, it's not that bad. It's probably on the level of Ghostbusters. I mean, it's a little bit more mature than Hocus Pocus, but about as mature as Ghostbusters is. So, I think, honestly, the third one is not that great at all.
I should do a face reveal on the D&D episodes.
What?
You did a face reveal on the D&D episodes. No one has seen your face on the D&D episodes.
That's fine.
Damn time!
It's supposed to be like the old Charlie Brown with the parents that go wah 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 wah.
What?
Except you can actually understand me. Anyways. So, like I was saying, the third one is kind of crap. I mean, there are a few good points that I like. But I actually really like Poltergeist 2. It feels like a very, like a continuation of the first one. Like, we're picking up almost right where we left off. Just a week or two later. So, or maybe it's a month later or something. But yeah, so, alright, we're going to jump right into Poltergeist 2. I am addressing the living.
Yay!
Alright, see you guys after the movie.
Bye! Leave us alone! You are gonna die!
Alright, so we just finished Poltergeist 2.
Which was very weird.
Yeah? So what did you think of the villain? We finally got to see the villain. Reverend Cain.
Very, very weird.
He kind of looked like a living skeleton, right?
Yeah, like he still got his skin on, but his face was weird, like if he didn't even eat. Like, he was skinny, but also, like, his face was
Like a skull?
yeah. But
Like
was
you can see his skull underneath?
yeah, and like his whole entire body was like, the skin was still somehow on it.
Yeah. What did you think of that song he was singing all the time? God is in his holy temple. Yeah, you like that? You just talk. People don't understand it when you sing it. Yeah. Bad. Okay. That's not a yes or no. Alright. So, we revisit the family a year or so after the events of the first movie. And they're living with the grandmother. And Daddy pointed out to you, because you didn't notice it right away, that they were showing that Carol Ann was clairvoyant. She was picking out the yarns that the grandma was at. You're going to break your sword doing that. You're already bending it up. Put it down. It's not even Pirate Month anymore. Anyways, they were showing off her clairvoyancy because she was grabbing the right colored yarn that the grandma was asking for without looking. And then that was pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
So they
Like,
were...
if I was Caroline, I'd probably grab...
Carol Ann. Why do you keep calling her Caroline? Does she have buttons for eyes?
No.
Okay. So she's not Caroline. Nobody in the movie had buttons for eyes. So anyways, so Carol Ann, they were establishing that she was psychic. Which we didn't really get any setup of that in the first movie. So, then the grandma, she passes away. And who shows up after the grandma passes?
The bad guy? No. Yeah, no. Yeah. No, yeah. No, yeah. No, yeah.
Taylor?
Yeah, yeah.
The
Taylor.
Indian?
Yeah, Taylor.
And who sent Taylor to help the family?
Dad, say the line.
Say the line.
Not one line.
I am addressing the living.
Yes, I'm my dad.
You know what Grandpa's favorite line from the first movie is?
But
This house is clean.
this house is clean.
So, Zelda, or Tangina, the actress's name is Zelda, but Tangina sent Taylor to help the family, and they really upped the effects in this one, I think. Like that whole thing with the worm. What was the freakiest part for you?
I would probably say when it was like when they're in the car trying to hide from it and the chainsaw's trying to cut its way through.
Yeah.
when he got it in the car, like when Prophet is like to reach his heads, I was like, oh my God! Don't tell me they would be breaking this whole time. Just on number 3, number 4, there's a gotta replace the actors since I got the time by chainsaw still on in the car.
I do wish that well, let me say I think the freakiest part for me was probably that scene with the braces. When the kids' braces started growing like vines all over the place.
That'll probably explain why you weren't watching that part.
No, I was cooking your dinner at that part.
Yeah, but still. You weren't even talking about that part. And plus you weren't even talking about that part while we were watching the movie. But you talking about the other parts. I know you're scared of that part.
I'm not scared. I just thought it was freaky.
Yes, you
Looked like it was straight out of Nightmare on Elm Street. So, anyways.
Yeah, do you guys know how big it would?
Fergie, we're recording. Shush.
Yeah, sorry, guys. Our dog is seriously trying to love my dad.
Fergie says the freakiest part for her was when the doggy was holding the electrical cord in the garage scene that you were talking about.
Yeah.
She says that's the freakiest part for her.
Oh my God, there's a dog involved in this. That's it, who bring that in?
Anyways, alright, we'll be right back. And when we return, we are going to give our final scores. See you in a little bit.
Bye.
Looking for something to pass the time? Need something good to read or listen to?
To get you ready for Halloween.
Do you like famous slashers like Jason, Freddy, Michael, or Ghostface? Do you wish there was something new and original that you could read on your phone or tablet? Or perhaps you like to grab a scary book and read by candlelight?
Check out these short stories, written by Sean Connaughton. When a mildly abusive man mistreats his bride-to-be on Halloween night, his neighbors decide to teach him a lesson. A lesson he won't soon forget when he finds himself in the witch's hole. And narrated by me, Tara Klein.
A Seattle detective, Scott Grimes, investigates a string of odd murders. But where this case ultimately leads him, he could never have predicted when he crosses paths with the legal murderer. And narrated by me, Brad Letson.
Join the Dunne family as they make their way to a vacation home for a weekend trip. However, when the sun goes down, things seem to get just as dark inside as outside. Stay with the Dunnes and see if you can make it through the mansion. Audiobook narrated by Dylan Poor.
This story follows Sir Godwin as he and a small group transport a lovely princess out of a soon-to-be war zone, and as they travel they must pass through some woods. However, things grow darker and more sinister the deeper into the woods they go, and they find what some believe to only be known as the Legend of Fort Blood. Narrated for you by Angela Strauman.
So, turn out the lights, light a candle, grab your phone or tablet, and download your ebook or audiobook now.
Currently available all year round on Audible, Amazon, and iTunes.
So don't miss out, and grab your copy today.
Alright, so Cora, last time you gave this movie a 6 out of 10, I believe. And I think I gave this...
8 out of 10?
8 out of 10?
Yeah.
So, on a scale of 1 out of 10, what would you give this movie, Poltergeist 2? I really want to keep saying paranormal. I don't know why.
Maybe because when we place in paranormal with this movie, that's probably why I want to say paranormal. But anyways, I'm going to give this drum roll, please. A 3 out of 10.
A 3? It went down for you that much?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Look. Heroes do have 7. Bam!
I figured this would have been about the same, or maybe gone down a little.
Yeah, like,
I didn't think it'd go all the way to a
much
3.
to this much.
Okay, that's your choice.
This movie seriously scared me, but that...
More than the first movie?
Yep, I mean, remakes it up.
Alright. Well, let's move on to my score. Honestly, I view this movie every time I watch the first one. I really always want to watch the second one right along with it, because it feels like this really does continue on the story. So for me, I would give this probably a 7 out of 10. Because it does continue on the story. It makes a lot of sense. You know, they didn't really defeat it before. And this time it actually did feel like they actually defeated the demon. Or the, beast as they call it.
No, they didn't. All they did is to stab it.
Yes. And the souls that were with it got free and went into the light. If you were paying attention to the movie, you would have heard Tangina say that this Reverend Cain died and became a beast and was hoarding the souls. He was keeping them from moving on. He trapped them. And that they were all drawn to Carol Ann. And because they were all drawn to her, he wanted her so they would be comfortable being with him. Basically, it's like, if there was somebody in our house and they were keeping us here, but we saw somebody walking outside and we're like trying to get that person's attention, if they brought that person into the house and trapped them in here with us so that person couldn't leave. So we'd be happy that we have more company. It's basically what he was doing. So...
That probably explain that there was 100 souls.
The only reason this really goes down is it does sort of feel like there was a little bit of a budget cut from the last movie. Maybe that's just because we're dealing with a lot less, staff or actors and actresses. There is also the fact, too, that one of the characters was kind of out of the movie. And which is understandable due to the tragedy that, happened. But, yeah, basically, they could have put in a line or something for those audience members who were paying attention to the first one and would have known about the actress being gone. There could have been something that, an easy fix is saying, oh, the mother and father, the mother had that daughter with someone else before she was with Mr. Incredible. And...
Spoiler, it's just the actor from Mr. Clample?
Yes. The father is the same voice, the actor who does the voice of Mr. Incredible in The Incredibles. But they could have said, oh, the wife had been married before. Put the sword down, please. You're going to break it.
No.
But they could have said that she had been married before, had a kid, got divorced, ended up with Steven, and that the daughter was spending the summer at her father's, her biological father's, and they were still staying at the grandmother's, still trying to get, the house dealt with since it disappeared. I just feel like something could have been said to easily, not exactly write her off, but to kind of write her off, since the actress was unable to return due to tragic circumstances.
Yeah, I just noticed something.
What?
Throughout the movie, we did got some extra characters, but the grandma, but we didn't even see her that much.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw her at the beginning. We saw her passed away. We at least heard her voice in some places, and at the end we saw her was Caroline.
Carol Ann. As often as they say her name in the movie, and as bad as I am about names, I swear you're worse.
Hey, we just sounds the same.
They say her name like every 5 minutes. Carol Ann! Carol Ann! Carol Ann.
Carol Ann?
That was close enough. Anyways, for those who don't know, who've lived under a rock, I guess, because this is probably the most well-known story in film history, the reason why the oldest daughter was unable to return, at least from what I've heard, is that the actress who played her after she finished filming Poltergeist 1 was murdered by her boyfriend. So that's why she was unable to return and be in the second and third movie. I'm not looking really that forward to the third movie.
Because
I think Cora's going to be quite shocked at when we get to that, about how I'm going to feel about that movie. But, yeah. So, this has been our review of Poltergeist 2. We really hope you enjoyed it. Cora didn't really enjoy this one, apparently. Even though I do say it's very on the level as Poltergeist 1. So, if you want to watch, a good duo, you could really honestly stop after this if you don't want to watch the third. But, alright, and we will see you all next time with, I think we're doing Poltergeist 3, and then I think we're doing The Faculty at the end of the month.
Yep, and so there's a faculty and the other faculties.
I don't know if we'll have an extra bonus episode for Halloween or not. But, alright, we'll see you all later.
Bye.